Hello and welcome to Rep Sports. The first innings of the India versus South Africa third ODI. The final of the series is finally done and dusted. 270 runs on the scoreboard. India will be very happy with restricting South Africa to 270 because this is a competitive total. They will look to go out there and chase this down. But Shomik, let's talk about the bowling a little bit. A 4-wicket haul for Prasid Krishna, but a tad bit expensive once again.
See, I don't read too much into those four wickets because Matthew Britzker and Quinton de Kock played two very poor shots. I mean, as far as Matthew Britzker is concerned, yeah, it felt like he became a little too complacent. He became, I mean, on the bordering almost on the contemptuous. So once you stop respecting the game, it will come back. It will always come back to bite you, irrespective of whoever is bowling and whether the powder puff is being dished out. If you stop, I mean, if you become casual, complacent, and that's what happened with Matthew Briska and also Quinton de Kock after scoring a fantastic, he batted brilliantly. After scoring that wonderful 100, he should have played it down the ground rather than attempted that ugly cross-batted oik. So he should have. So I don't read too much into Prasid Krishna's and Aiden Markram's dismissal. The ball stuck in the pitch. So it is a bit of a two-paced pitch. It is a bit of the ball stuck in the pitch. And another one is the tail ender, the last batsman. So I don't read too much into that. I would rather blame South Africa, especially Matthew Britzka and Quinton de Kock's poor shot selection. Kuldeep back three, and as you rightly said, Gargi, at the start of the show, India should be very happy because I think South Africa are at least 30 runs below par. Although it is not quite a belter. The pitch is not quite a belter. It is a bit of a two-paced pitch. It is sort of a pitch. See, I haven't covered too many white ball games at Vizag. I have covered test matches, and test matches conditions, the nature of the pitches are completely different. But it is the ball. It is a bit two-paced pitch. But if the dew comes in, then that will offset that two-paced nature, and once again it would be a little difficult for the spinners. So from that point of view, I totally agree with you that South Africa, India should be very happy as South Africa are at least 30 runs below par.
Bharat, I hope you can hear me. Can you confirm if I'm getting through to you? No, I don't think I'm able to get through to Bharat at this point. I think he's having internet issues. He can't hear me. He can't hear me. But Devashish will also join us, so we'll wait for him to join. But Shomik, on the other hand, if you really look at it, there's a question here. Don't worry, Gigi will surely win today. Will he celebrate personal milestone? That's the main concern. What personal milestones are we talking about? What is this about?
No,
Shomik, do you have any?
I think there are a couple of. I am not a statsman, but I think there are a couple of milestones. Rohit Sharma reaching a landmark in terms of scoring runs in India, and Virat Kohli or something. Virat Kohli also reaching a certain number in India. Stuff like that. I'm absolutely. If if we would have preempted that such a question would come, then we should have had I mean we must have had Snehashish as a panelist because he is our statsman and he is brilliant at that.
Devashish also joins us. He's at the CAB, if I'm not wrong. I could
Yeah,
recognize I could recognize those walls anyway. But Devashish, 270 runs on the scoreboard for South Africa. They would have wanted that extra 30, 40 runs going past 300 just to have a competitive total. But on the other hand, India will be very, very happy with this total. They will look to chase this down, especially with dew favoring them.
yeah, absolutely. You're spot on, Gargi, because ideally, and the amount that the runs that we saw is been scored in the first two matches, I think that is this is below par. Means obviously it is below. We have to find out after the end of the Indian innings whether it's actually below par or not. Because but definitely India will feel confident having won the toss and put South Africa into bat. because due, as you said, that due will be a factor, and South African bowlers will struggle. But once again, Kuldeep Yadav has been outstanding. But once again, Prasid Krishna might have got wickets, but a lot has been desired from him. The way he was belted by the South African batters, I think yes, had he brought a little bit more discipline, then India might have chased lot more, a little more less total than what they will be chasing now.
See, once again, we are in sync, Gargi. I mean, I also, I mean, we are absolutely in sync. Even that, and also Devashish, if you look at him, it's more of if more of the South African batsmen throwing their wickets away rather than Prasid Krishna taking wickets. If you look at
Exactly.
If you look at Matthew Britzka's dismissal, it was a very poor shot. I mean, he became complacent to the point of being contemptuous. And in this sport, if you for even for a moment, if you stop respecting the game, then the game will come back to bite you. So from that point of view, at, he thought I mean, he is dealing with Rashid Krishna, so he could do anything. So that's it was a he is a youngster. I think he would learn from this. And also Quinton de Kock, he played brilliantly, scored a brilliant 100, but that shot was not on a very ugly way. You don't expect Quinton de Kock. Maybe once again, if it was Prashit Krishna, so he, I mean, he stretched his limit a little too far. But then again, if he would have played it straight down the ground, he could have easily collected a single. So two poor shots, pretty poor shot selection. And Aiden Markram, the ball stuck in the pitch. So it is a bit of a two-paced wicket, unlike Ranchi or Raipur, where builders had been laid out. It is a bit two-paced. The ball was gripping on the surface. It was sticking on the surface, and the last wicket was that of the number 11.
Um, regarding there's a lot of discussion regarding Prasid Krishna at this moment. First 2 overs going for 27 runs. I'm sure that, through India's uh, plans off the charts, but fly boys for people is asking whenever Prasid Krishna is bowling off stump line, wicket to wicket attack, he looks lethal. Whenever he bowls full pitch delivery, he looks like an average street bowler. Today, his lines were good after his initial spell. What do you make of that, Shomik?
You expect an international bowler to do that he can't do that on a consistent basis, which means he is not that standard, and he shouldn't be a part of the Indian squad. Once Jasprit Bumrah is coming back, once Mohammad Siraj is coming back, he should be nowhere near the Indian team. He should be nowhere near the Indian team, and there is nothing that he is. I mean, he's doing the team a massive favor by bowling that stump to stump line or doing the course correction. Someone who is playing international cricket, he is expected to do that.
Bharat, I hope you can hear me
And
now.
I don't know if I'm not wrong. At one point of time, KL Rahul was seen having a long chat with Prasid Krishna. Means what would the captain do if he doesn't bowl to his field placements? And that is where means someone said that yeah, if he had bowled to a perfect line, say outside the off stump, he looks, yes, definitely he looks like picking a wicket. But the problem with Prasid Krishna is he has not been consistent enough, which is line and length, and that is where means obviously he needs to go back to the drawing board, perhaps polish himself and come back as an improved bowler. Means obviously you are letting your team down. 2 overs for 27 runs, and things could have gone awful for the team. So I think he needs to bring in a lot more discipline and consistency. See, obviously I mean, he is he is good. That's the reason he has been picked in the Indian side. But obviously, if it performs in the manner in which he has been doing, definitely there's a Jasprit Bumrah waiting, there's a Mohammad Shah, Siraj waiting, there's a Akashdeep waiting. There are several other bowlers who will definitely grab the opportunity. So I think time is running out for Prasid Krishna. The sooner he learns his mistake, because now obviously the next one day series in India plays is against New Zealand. So and it's not very and it's not too far as well. So I think it will be interesting with the selectors. and give him another opportunity, or they go for a Mohammad Jasprit Bumrah or a Mohammad Siraj.
Bharat, can you hear me now? I hope I'm getting through to you.
Yeah, I can hear. I can hear.
Okay, finally. So Bharat is joining us from Vizag, and as you all know, internet outside of the stadiums are a problem. I'm sure Bharat has walked 1 or 2 kilometers away because it doesn't look like he's anywhere close to the stadium at this point. It looks like he's in a residential area. But Bharat, what do you make of the total that
Yeah,
South
I'm
Africa has
not
on the
very far
board?
away. I am about 1 kilometer.
Okay. What do you make of the total South Africa have put on the board, and how easy do you think this chase will be for India? Because the highest chase that we've seen in Vizag is 292 runs.
Yeah, I guess the pitch is on the slower side. That is what I would say. That is why it was gripping a bit, and I think India have done well to restrict South Africa to this total. I expect Dew to come into play in the second innings because the weather has got cooler here. When the weather gets cooler, you definitely get to do. What happens in Vizag is in the morning it is very cool, and then afterwards in the afternoon around 10 p.m., 10 a.m., 11 a.m., it gets very hot, and then it gets quite cool at around 5:30, 5:45. You can see already the light is very dim. So you expect some dew to come into play. So I think India will fancy their chances. It was a good comeback from the Indian team. I think Kuldeep Yadav really bowled well. As I noted, he was getting a little bit of grip out there. Used his Chinaman and used his Chinaman as well as his wrong end really well. As far as Prasid is concerned, I think it is not exactly related to his line or length. I think he has a little bit of a skill issue in the sense that when he goes full, that full ball doesn't really do much. Yes, he got a couple of one or two wickets with a full ball, but that full ball, if you notice, doesn't really do much. He looks to swing the ball, but it doesn't swing so as to again shift his length back to hard length. I think that is one of his problems. And another problem is he can't bowl that into the pitch slower one that Harshit Rana bowls. I think Harshit Rana has an advantage of Prasid because he can bowl that into the pitch slower one in one day cricket. Having said that, he has taken 37 wickets in 21 matches. That is basically 1.7 wickets per match and 22 test wickets in 6 matches. That is basically almost 4 wickets per test. So he's a genuine wicket taker. I think that is why India are keeping him in the squads because they know that he can get you wickets.
Um, Shamit, okay, Ayan Banerjee is saying it's not about a personal milestone. Gigi said, I won't celebrate that after a series loss. He said in reference to the BGT series in Australia. Still don't know what this is about. I still don't understand. You're on mute, by the way, Shamit. But anyway, Danish Sami is asking, what are your thoughts on the first innings of South Africa? Did Indian bowlers bowl well, or did South Africa batters bat through their wickets? As
I
in,
was discussing I was discussing that with you, Gargi. I mean, Kuldeep bowled well, but more than bowling, I mean, it was South African batsmen who allowed India to come back into that game. Matthew Briscoe's shot, I'll keep coming back to that. It was I mean, it bordered on contemptuous. It was arrogant. That shot was not on, and even if Prasid Krishna was playing, you need to play the ball, not the bowler. The thing is that, I mean, sometimes when you are playing against an average bowler, then sometimes that complacency might creep in. So from that point of view, that shot was very poor shot. Also, Quinton de Kock, he attempted an ugly cross-batted hook. He should have played that down the ground. So more than Indian bowling, I would rather say South African batting. South Africa's batsmen, especially Quinton de Kock and Matthew Briscoe, they allowed India to come back into the game.
maybe it was the pressure of batting first, who knows? The pressure of getting as many runs as possible. It could very well be. Debashish, 4 wickets for Kuldeep Yadav comes in clutch once again. He has been absolutely effective throughout, formats. You've seen him do really, really well in the West Indies series. You've seen him do well in the South Africa Test series as well. And now you're seeing that even in the last 2 matches, he's been able to get you some important breakthroughs. If you look at Kuldeep's performances overall through this series, what do you have to say about him?
Yeah, obviously he should be a regular choice. He should be a regular choice in the playing 11 across formats. That is what I feel. Yes, in T20 format you might be a bit influenced in playing someone like Akshar Patel and Washington Sundar, but Kuldeep Yadav, he is your genuine wicket taker after Jasprit Bumrah. If there is anyone who you can rely on in getting wicket, it has to be Kuldeep Yadav. His guile, his variation, and the speed at which he bowls. And I think that is what Kuldeep Yadav is proving time and again. Unfortunately, why he wasn't played in that Test series against England, that still baffles me. He should have been picked at least for a couple of Test matches, but he is making it count. If each and every opportunity, yes. Unfortunately, the last match that India played, in fact, the first ODI, if you ask me, it was Kuldeep who brought India back into the match. 228 for 7, if I remember, getting rid of both Marco Jansen and the other batter who was set. But I think Kuldeep Yadav, in in particularly in Test matches and ODI cricket, is definitely who you should go to. Who should go to at the outset.
Shomik, freaking awesome here. Coming back to circling back to Prasid Krishna here. We have seen Prasid in Oval and Sydney. Whenever there is extra bounce on a spicy wicket, he looks good. Uh, but as an international bowler, he has to adjust his line and length according to the conditions. I just think he's not ready yet. I think there is a lot of work that needs to go into Prasid Krishna's bowling before he's a regular in this setup. What are your thoughts, Shomik?
Gargi, he has been playing since donkey's years. If you take the first class cricket, his experience in first class cricket into account, he has been playing since donkey's years. And even after that, if he's struggling to learn the basics, then there is a problem. Then there is a problem. So I think after this series, I do believe after this series, Ajit Agarkar and company, Ajit Agarkar's selection committee will start looking beyond Prashit Krishna, and they should do that. Maybe I would still cut them some slack in the sense that this is still the experimental. This is still the experimental phase with an eye to the 2027 World Cup. Prashit Krishna is not part of the T20 setup, and India would be playing the T20 World Cup in February March. But it is if it is about 2027 World Cup, and as I have said, that it is just the initial phase of that journey. Maybe they wanted to have a look at him, but and also you have to see Akashdeep was coming back from an injury, stuff like that. Akashdeep, they are a bit iffy about taking Akashdeep in white ball cricket because Akashdeep has a problem bowling with the older ball. That is a genuine concern. Mohammad Siraj, maybe they wanted to rest him because he bowled a lot in England and then he played all the Test series and then the ODI series in Australia. Maybe wanted, maybe, and who knows, he might be in the scheme of things for the T20 World Cup also. Given that India need a third seamer, India need a backup seamer because Hardik would be back, Arshdeep and Jasprit Bumrah would be there. Then another seamer, another in the 15. If they are thinking about having another seamer in that setup, then that has to be, then that could very well be Mohammad Siraj. So from that point of view, they wanted him to cool his heels in this series. So that could be a reason. So all everything combined, and he has been he has been given enough opportunity. This Prasid Krishna guy, and he has always been a letdown. And once again, I'm not reading anything into his 4 wickets. So time to move on. Maybe selectors have enough idea. Ajit Agarkar and his colleagues now should have enough idea, and they should move on.
Devashish, finally taking predictions and then closing the show. How many overs do you think India will chase this down in, or do you think they will not chase it down at all?
No, no, no. I am putting my money on Roko to make it decent chase. But yes, you never know with the South African quicks. Um, uh, they might cause a little bit of trouble, but as soon as the creeps in, it will be difficult. It will be difficult. So what South Africa will be looking to make early inroads, and but if India settles down, if Rohit and Virat settles down, obviously, as you, Rohit missed his last ODI. He started the ODI series on a great note, scoring that half century, but he missed it the last ODI, so he would like to make it count. Uh, because Gargi, the fact is, Shobita might disagree, but every time Rohit Sharma and Virat Kohli fails from here on, there will be questions being asked, which is unfair as well. You know what has been their contributions, what has been, but every failure means there will be questions asked. But social media means obviously Shomikda has different opinion altogether about social media, and that is to me it's a bit unfair. But hopefully both Virat has already done it two hundreds in two times, and obviously he has scored 300s on a trot in one day cricket before as well. So it's a golden opportunity for him to score three back-to-back hundreds. But for Rohit, I think he also needs to fire, and so as to keep that means obviously to put a stop against his critics.
Shomik, your thoughts?
Gargi, this game is brilliantly set up for Virat Kohli. He likes the targets in the range of 270, 280, and he can perfectly play his natural game. And don't forget, at Vizag, across formats, his average is 97 plus. Across formats, Virat Kohli's average at this venue is 97 plus. This game is, I would like to see. Uh, I don't know whether it would happen or not because every time Virat and Rohit play, my desire becomes that they stitch a longish partnership. Because when they are gone, we'll no longer see that quality of batsmanship. There are some brilliantly talented players, including Shubman Gill. Shubman Gill is a very, very, very good player, very talented player. But they are Virat and Rohit. They're the last of the Mohicans. I mean, with them, that quality of batsmanship will be gone forever, and you will not get that. Will not get it back again. So every time, and these days, now as because they play only one format, every time they walk out to bat, I mean, I sort of pray that these two guys stitch a longish partnership, and that this is the reason I would be watching the second innings. That would be my desire. But cricket is one ball game, so anything can happen.
All right. On the note of anything can happen, we'll take your leave because anything truly can happen. But whatever happens, stay with us. Stay tuned with us. Keep sharing, keep liking, and keep interacting with us. We'll be back at the end of the game, so don't forget to join us then. Thank you.